Yan. So, going back, we have here a picture of scientists blindfolded na nilapit natin sa isang elephant, no? So, without even knowing kung ano yung nasa harap nila o ano yung nakakapitan nila, ito yung mga ano nila, initial guesses nila. So, for example, yung first one natin, si Doc dito sa baba, no? So, nahawakan niya yung mismong horn o tus nung ano nung elephant. Since it is pointy, no, sharp, medyo sharp. Sabi niya it's a sphere, no? Then si Ma'am, nahawakan niya yung elongated nose nung elephant. Sabi niya it's a snake kasi mahaba nga siya and then feels like siguro of a snake. Then ito at the top, we have someone holding the ears. So nakita niya flat 'yon and then siguro sinwing niya, no? Kaya may direction na ganun. Sinwing niya and then inassume niya na it's a fan. Then dito, it's a tree kasi nakahawak siya sa trunk ng mismong elephant. And dito, it's a wall kasi it's very hard, it's very rough, no? So inassume niyang wall 'yon. And then dito, inassume niya yung mismong tail ng elephant as a rope, no? So basically, without knowing kung ano yung nasa harap nila, may kanya-kanya silang assumption. So same with kung i-compare natin sa mathematics, no? So let's say si mathematics is yung elephant natin. So in mathematics, we have our own perception, no? Kung ano yung background natin sa mathematics kasi we came from different schools, we were nurtured by different professors, no? So basically ah, yung yung pinaka outlook natin sa math, iba-iba tayo ng level or iba't iba tayo ng pag-distinguish kay math, no? So meron tayo na cases na from memory or from other experiences, bine-base natin doon yung assumptions natin doon sa itatakal natin sa mathematics. Like for example, yung nasa picture nga natin, let's say, yung isa, sinabi natin isa sphere, no? Kasi alam niya na sa sphere na ano siya, matilo siya. So, ganun din sa math na halimbawa, nakita natin yung operation na ginagawa is mathematics, multiplication yung ginagawa. So, by experience, alam na natin yung gagawin kapag nakakita tayo ng numbers na may multiplication sign. So, basically, diyan natin pwede i-relate yung mathematics, no? Na although we are nurtured or we are from different perspectives, pagdating sa mathematics, we can always apply yung knowledge natin na natutunan. And together, we will discover how we can nurture more or develop yung mas kailangan nating tools na i-apply natin dun sa mga future subjects natin sa engineering, no? So next is we will go do sa may mga figures na ito papakita, then please identify kung ano yung magiging kasunod na step, no? So for this one, we have 3 sets of circles. The first one, we have a singular circle, then naging dalawa, then naging apat. So based from this, what do you think would be uh, the next type of circle that should be aligned, no? Okay, Mr.
Letter C po ba?
Clavea. Okay, so letter C is a 5 circle. So
Di po.
I think based from dun sa ano natin, may mag-ano ba? Yan, may mga
Letter D po. 8.
case. So may nag-oppose
Di po.
na dapat di
Letter
dapat,
D.
no? So check natin kung ano yung tama. So thank you for answering. Yung nakikita nating pattern from 1 naging siyang 2. So sa pangalawa nating case, no? So from 1 circle naging siyang 2 circle. Then from 2 circle naging siyang 4 na circle. So ang pinaka mas malapit sigurong assumption is yung 4 na circle natin is mag-double din. Kasi ito nag-twice yung amount niya, no? Then the next one nag-twice ulit. So meron tayong 2 pattern na nag-twice siya. Okay? So noted yung kay Mr. Pernia, no? And then, yung more logical na answer would be letter D. Okay? Kasi every step, nagta-times 2 tayo. Okay? So, okay lang yan kung di mo na nakuha. Pero basically, based from dun sa pattern na na-derive natin, dun sa figure natin, ang most logical answer would be letter D kasi nagta-twice tayo every time. Okay? Next. For this case, what would be the next figure? What do you think? So we have 5 choices. And then what do you think is the most reasonable na maging next figure natin? Someone said letter E. Okay, so how come letter E? Okay, so ako if I'm guessing, no, the most logical siguro sa akin for me would be letter D. Okay, why? So from this one, tingnan natin yung first column, no? Sa first column natin, we have a white mark dun sa second inner circle. And then yung kasunod, naging outer na siya. Okay? So, anong nangyari? Nag-skip siya ng dalawa. Nag-skip siya ng isa para makalipat to sa next na pattern. And then, nag-skip ulit siya ng isa para makabalik dun sa kasunod niya, pero reverse na yung sign. Okay? So, from dito, blue, naging white na siya kasi umulit na siya. Okay? Dito, sa second column, from white, nag-move ng isa, and then once na nakalapit na siya dito sa gitna, no? So, tama ba? Yung nakikita kong pattern. Okay, so from dito, meron tayong isa dito, lumapit tayo, and then eventually dapat, ayan. So, siguro, more logical yung letter D.
Sure.
Okay? Or, meron kayong ibang point of view?
Sir.
Okay.
Sir, may napansin lang po.
Yes,
Hindi ko
yes.
lang po sure. Yung ano po, yung first na ano po, yung pinakang taas po.
Yes.
Ano po, yung white po ay yung ano, nasa, yun pong, ano yun, yung white po ay para pong nandun sa may inner. Tapos yung pinakang, yung first inner po. Tapos po yung white, nag-transfer po dun sa pinakang outer. Tapos nag-transfer naman po sa pinakang inner. Tapos yun dito naman po sa pangalawang ano, pangalawang line is yung ano, outer nag-inner tapos pa-inner po. Tapos po yung sa pinakang baba po is pangalawang ano, tapos nag-double po siya tapos yung blue is ano, yun po nag sa lahat na po. Para
Okay,
po
so,
nagdagdag siya.
kaya naging letter E.
Letter D po.
D na
D
nga.
po yung
D na
opo.
din yung sa'yo. Okay, so,
Para pong nag-ano lang din siya.
so, kaya nga yung based from my observation lang, it may be true or may not be true. Pero based from my observation, si D yung more logical na sagot. Okay? So, it may be not the correct answer. You may see another pattern. Pero basically, based dun sa kung ano yung ma-observe nyo, nagkakameron tayo ng perception kung ano yung magiging kasunod. So, yung letter D is my perception and perception of sino ba yung sumagot? Si Mr. Di Ocampo ba yun? Mr.
Claveria.
Eclavea.
Pwede
Okay.
rin po yung pababa din po. Papasok po ng papasok yung ano, white na circle. Ayun po.
Yes. So,
Pang third, second, tapos pinakang first, pinakang low.
okay. Thank you. So based from yung perception natin. So yun yung pinaka ano natin, no? Ang pinaka take away natin doon na based doon sa kung ano yung nakikita natin na pattern, yun yung kinukuha nating sagot. Then for the next one, what do you think will be the next figure?
Letter D po.
Letter D, sir.
Letter D?
Opo.
D?
Letter B po.
B.
B po. B.
Okay.
B.
So, ang more
Letter B
logical
po.
sa akin is letter B. No? Why? Kasi dito, look at the colors. Si blue is succeeded by green, tapos preceded by red, no? Ibaba natin si blue, same pa din, si green pa din yung ano niya. Si red pumunta lang sa taas. Then dito bumaba ulit, sinundan lang niya. So ang pinaka logical is blue yung ilalim, which is pwede si B, pwede si D, pero yung nasa taas dapat niya ay red, which is ito yun. Kasi ang kasunod nasa taas ni blue ay red. So dapat si B yung sagot natin. Okay? So si B yung more logical na answer sa kanya. Okay. So based from these examples, so parang bumabalik tayo dun sa kung tatandaan natin sa primary at sa secondary education natin, no? Kasi halimbawa nung prep tayo, meron tayong mga figures na halimbawa merong may flower na ganyan, tapos may flower na ganyan yung itsura. Ano yung magiging kasunod na diagram, no? So usually ginagawa natin tatlo kasi based from 1 petal, naging 2 petals, tapos magiging 3 petals. So basically, nung ano pa lang, early years pa lang ng education natin, pinaprepare na tayo to identify yung mga patterns na pwede nating ma-observe in our surroundings or in any given circumstances, no? And based from these patterns, nakakapag-generate tayo ng conclusion na ginagamit natin to predict yung magiging next answer natin, no? So basically, yun yung magiging concept ng topic natin for today. Ang tinatawag natin dun sa conclusion o generalization na tinatawag natin is tinatawag natin siyang reasoning or mathematical reasoning. Okay? So sabi, si reasoning daw involves drawing logical conclusion based from evidence or stated assumptions. Okay? So based dun sa mga nakita nating pattern, based from do sa color, based from do sa movement ng circle, or based dun sa pag-multiply o multiple ng circle, nakakapag-draw tayo ng conclusion on what would be the next figure or next diagram would be. Okay? And this particular skill is very critical kasi kailangan ma-develop yun, especially engineering, future engineers tayo. We have to learn how to predict, no? Or to understand or to analyze yung given situation sa atin and to answer certain problems, no? So let's say for example, kung halimbawa mechanical engineering ka, and then halimbawa may mga gears, no? Halimbawa may gear na nag-rotate ng clockwise, meron nag-rotate ng counterclockwise. Depende sa size ng gear, ano yung magiging rotation ng kasunod na gear, no? Parang ganon. So, I know sa mga exam, sa mga aptitude test, may mga ganon tayong nasasagutan na problems, which is based sa analysis natin kung anong magiging turn nung situation natin. Okay? So, mathematical reasoning daw is a critical thinking and logical mathematical critical thinking and logical reasoning are very important na ma-cultivate nating skill because it will be necessary in solving math problems. Okay? So, pag pinag-usapan natin reasoning, we have, although meron siyang ibang type, we have two basic types of reasoning. Yung tatawag na natin inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. Okay? So, first we will go dun sa inductive reasoning. Okay, so inductive reasoning daw is based on observation and not any hypothesis. Okay? So if any phenomena are observed for n number of times, it is generalized. So kanina, meron tayong circle, single circle, naging dalawa, naging apat. So based from that observation, nakita natin na minumultiply natin by o dinodouble natin yung number of circles each time na magpo-proceed tayo sa next diagram. So, yung conclusion na yon tinatawag natin generalization. Okay? Na na-obtain natin based from observation, based from interpretation ng figure, no? Na somehow, kapag inductive reasoning pinag-uusapan natin, logically, it may be true, but realistically speaking, it is not always true. Okay? Ang isa pa sa inductive reasoning or pinaka madaling tandaan sa kanya is si inductive reasoning is always basing yung facts from specific examples, specific argument. Then once na nakuha natin yung sense dun sa mga specific argument natin, tsaka tayo nagdodraw ng conclusion o ng generalization into a general argument. So anong ibig sabihin niyan? So let's put it into an example so that we can realize kung anong ibig sabihin nitong from a specific argument papunta sa general argument kapag inductive reasoning tayo. So let's say we have two statements. Mango is a fruit. So yun yung first specific statement natin. Next is the box is full of fruit. Okay? So ano yung pwedeng maging conclusion natin? So since mango is a fruit and the box is full of fruit, so
The box is full of mango.
Okay, so the box is full of mango. May nating mangoes, no? Which is logically true based from dun sa arguments natin. Kasi binanggit nga niya na mango is a fruit, no? And the box is full of fruit. Pero realistically speaking, kung nasa palengke ka and then nakakita ka ng box, hindi naman lahat ng box is full of mangoes. Some boxes are filled with apples, some are half oranges, half grapes, no? So realistically, hindi siya lagi true. Pero logically speaking, based from our argument, the conclusion is true. Okay? Another one. It has rained every day for the past 7 days. And then, second statement natin, it is raining today as well. So ano yung magiging interpretation natin for tomorrow? So kung ma-identify natin na sa first argument, 7 days na daw umuulan, tapos ngayon umuulan. So may high chance na tomorrow na it will also rain tomorrow, no? Kasi logically speaking, for the last week, it has been raining. So kung umuulan pa din ngayon, may possibility na umuulan pa din bukas. Especially kapag halimbawa may forecast na bagyo and alam natin halimbawa sabihin magiging outside of Philippine area of responsibility pa siya is halimbawa the day after tomorrow pa. So definitely the rain it will also rain tomorrow. Pero hindi siya realistically correct kasi yung mga forecast natin minsan hindi siya laging nagkakatotoo kasi like for example kung na-experience nyo during your high school days, may mga time na nagsuspend ng classes. Pero makikita mo, ang init-init naman, ba't walang pasok? No? Pero sabi mo may bagyo. Kasi nga, nag-base lang sila dun sa forecast nila na during the course nung bagyo, nag-iba yung ihip ng hangin. So, nag-divert ngayon yung location ng bagyo. So, since mas maaga yung announcement ng cancellation of classes dahil dun sa logical data na nakuha ng mga weather forecaster natin, naging assumption nila na magiging malakas ang ulan dun sa particular day na yun. So, logically speaking, it is true, but realistically speaking, hindi siya laging true. Okay? So, next. Ito. So, punta tayo sa medyo mathematical side. So, we have 4 given examples. We have 3 times 5, 5 times 9, 7 times 7, and 3 times 9. And their product is 15, 45, 49, and 27. So, ano yung anong pwedeng observation natin for these numbers? So, what type
The
of numbers
given
are they?
equations are correct.
Okay, the equation satisfies the answer. So, okay lang 'yon. Ano pa? Ano pang pwedeng ano?
Puro odd number po.
Okay, so thank you. Okay, so Mr. Flansha also included or stated na odd numbers, no? So, nakita natin si first digit and second digit are all odd numbers. And the product ng mga odd numbers na 'yon pag minultiply natin are also odd numbers. So, ang pwedeng conclusion natin, so ang pwedeng statement natin is when we multiply two odd numbers, the product is also an odd number. Okay. So, yan yung based from these 4 specific examples, ito yung conclusion natin, no? Ngayon, kailangan natin i-check kung laging true yan. Okay? Kasi logically speaking, true siya kasi yan nga, lahat ng sagot natin true. Pero is it realistically true? So let's try another set of numbers. So let's say 15 times, halimbawa sabihin natin 105. Okay? So gamit ako ng calcu So answer natin is 1575, which is in fact an odd number. So pasok tayo dun sa conclusion natin. Another number. So let's say we have 21 times 1003 halimbawa, no? So basta any odd number, any two odd numbers, pag minultiply natin, ang sabi sa conclusion natin, it is always an odd number. So dito sa case natin, after drawing 2 more examples, our answer is still satisfy the given statement. So ibig sabihin, yung conclusion natin is logically true and also realistically true. Okay? Okay tayo dito? Okay, next. Ayan. So, find the sequence or find the next term for the sequence. So, we have yung first one, 6, 17, 28, and 39. What is the next number? Okay. Mr. Rago answered 50.
50 po.
Okay, so 50 dahil, so kung sa hindi naka-gets, no?
Plus 11.
Add tayo ng 11 each term. Okay? So, plus 11 each term. And nakikuha natin yung next number. So, from our observed pattern, meron tayong plus 11 na each number. Next. 11, 15, 19, and 23. We have
27.
27. Ang addition natin is nag-add tayo ng 4. Okay? Next.
14.
14 po.
14 po.
Ang ginagawa natin naman ay deduct tayo ng 4. No? Add tayo ng negative 4 or deduct tayo ng 4. Kung saan kayo mas ano no? Next, 2, 4, 7, and 11. What is the next number?
16 po.
16 dahil so we have dito nag-add ng 2, nag-add ng 3, nag-add ng 4. So nakita natin nag-i-increase yung number. So basically dapat mag-add naman tayo ng 5. So we have 16.
16.
Okay? Then last we have
37.
so 37 dahil we have 5, 6, 7, and then logically speaking, dapat 8 yung i-add natin. So, 37. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung nag-aaral pa lang kayo ng mga gantong sequence, ina-apply nyo na din yung inductive reasoning, no? So, we are basing from the stated facts, no? Do sa kung ano yung nangyayari sa mga numbers natin, and then eventually we were able to predict kung ano yung magiging next number. Okay? This means that inductive reasoning is logically true, yun nga, sabi ko nga kanina, but may or may not be realistically true, depending doon sa example natin. So, to prove daw if a conclusion or conjecture, ang tawag minsan, no, is true, we have to use mathematical induction to prove it. Okay. So, we have steps in order to apply that. So, first one is to find yung pattern natin. Next is make tayo ng conjecture and conclusion based on sa pattern. And then number 3 is to test yung pattern natin or find a counterexample. So, what is a counterexample? A counterexample is a case that satisfies the condition. Okay? Pero once na in-apply natin yung condition, yung result niya is different from our expected result, no? So, ibig sabihin, inaano niya, tuligsa siya dun sa conclusion na ginawa natin. So, hindi siya nagko-conform o hindi siya nag-i-equal dun sa predicted na outcome natin. Which is, ito yung way natin to identify kung valid or invalid yung conclusion o conjecture na in-assume natin dun sa statements natin. Okay? So, let's try an example. So, halimbawa, make a test daw conjecture about the sum of any 3 consecutive numbers. So, ano daw consecutive numbers? Numbers that follow one another, like 3, 4, and 5. So, pag kinuha daw natin yung sum niya, hanap daw tayo ng conjecture about it. So, let's try. Let's try 3, 4, and 5. So, equals yan sa 12. So, let's try 5 plus 6 plus 7. So, basta 3 numbers, basta consecutive number siya. So, this will be, ilan to? 8. So, let's try 20, 21 plus 22. So, this will be
63.
okay, 63. So, based from our 3 consecutive numbers presented, kailangan makakuha tayo ng pattern sa kanya. So, ngayon, wala pa tayong clear na pattern sa kanya. So, let's try to debone yung mga numbers, yung sum natin. So, si 12, ano yung pwedeng factor ni 12? So, we have 3 times 4 or 4 times 3, no? Or, pwede tayong 6 times 2. Or, pwedeng 12 times 1. Okay? Next, kay 18, ano yung mga pwede? So, we have 2 times 9.
6 times 3 po.
6 times 3. 1 times 18.
1 times 18.
Okay, kay 63, ano yung pwede?
9 times 7.
Okay.
1 times 63.
21 times 3.
21 times 3.
1 times 63.
As ano yung isa? Meron pa ba?
1 times 63 ay
Okay. So, I guess yan lang yung pwede, yung tatlo. So, ngayon, babalikan natin ngayon. Ano yung possible na present sa kanilang lahat na we can justify as our general? So, lahat sila is multiplicable by 3, no? Divisible by 3, no? So, sulat natin. So, 3 times 4, 3 times 6, tsaka 3 times 21. Okay. And then, ano yung ma-observe kaya natin dito sa numbers na to? What are those numbers?
Ang second term po.
Okay. So, correct. So, that is the second term or yung middle term natin dun sa lahat nung pinag-add-add natin. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, ang pwede nating conclusion ngayon is the sum of any 3 consecutive numbers is equal to 3 times
The second.
the ano natin middle na lang, no? Middle term or number. Okay? So, check natin ngayon. I-verify natin ngayon. Yung first step natin, ito yon, nag-create tayo ng pattern. Number 2 is nag-create tayo ng generalization, no? So ito yung number 2. Number 3 ngayon is yung counter example natin based from this step, no? Test natin yung conjecture natin. Ngayon, we have to use another set of consecutive numbers, no? Okay, so let's try halimbawa 50 plus 51 plus 52. Let's try another one pala. Let's say 28, 29 plus 30. So yung sum niya in is ilan?
87.
87 po.
87. So let's try yung kanina, yung middle term daw, which is 29. Multiply natin ng 3. What is the answer of 3 times 29? That is also
87.
Okay. So pwede siya. So another one, para lang ma-sure, no? Another example, let's try another one. So laki-lakihan natin. So let's say 105. Wag yan. So let's try 111, 112 plus 113. Ano yung sum niya? So the sum,
336.
336.
okay? So kapag in-apply natin ngayon, mas madali natin ngayon mas malaman yung sum basta 3 times nung second, yung middle number, which is also
336.
So therefore, yung conjecture natin is valid and can be used to any sum ng 3 consecutive numbers. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yung conjecture natin is valid. Okay, question for this example? Okay naman? Okay. Okay, next. Yan. So conjecture. The sum of two numbers is always greater than the larger number. So we have two numbers daw. So any number, walang sinabi. Ang conjecture niya, always greater than daw siya sa larger number. So let's say we have 10 and 5. 10 plus 5 ay 15. So is the sum greater than dun sa larger ng dalawang number, which is 10? Yes, no? 15 is greater than 10. So let's say halimbawa 205 plus 300. So we have 505. So is 505 greater than do sa larger ng dalawa, which is 300?
Opo.
Yes. So what can we say? Is it true or false? So
Sir,
Mr. Rago said no pag negative. So let's try, no? Let's say negative 2 plus 10 equals to 8. So is 8 greater than 10?
Yes.
8 greater than 10?
No po.
No, no?
Sir, pag inad po sa
So ibig sabihin, yung conjecture natin is invalid na kapag meron na tayong negative number na pinili dun sa any two numbers natin. So, ibig sabihin, the conjecture is false kasi we are able to identify a counterexample for the given conjecture. So, to make this conjecture true, dapat ang sinabi niya, the sum of two positive. No? So, dapat may positive na term.
Or paano po pag zero?
Halimbawa, negative 2 plus 0.
Equal.
So, halimbawa,
I mean, 1 plus 0 po, same pa rin po yung number. Hindi po siya larger.
paano nga ba? Ang inaano kasi niya, two numbers. So, ang inaano siguro niya sa two numbers niya, so it should be greater than or equal, no? So, depende lang sa statement siguro niya. So, dito ang inequality lang na binanggit niya is greater than. So, siguro it will be invalid na din, no? Kasi hindi siya greater than directly dun sa number. Okay? Ayun. So, as said by Mr. Kaino nga, invalid na yung conjecture natin kasi hindi na siya greater than. It is equal na dun sa number. Okay? So, okay tayo dun sa 0. Sino ba yung nagtanong? Mr. The one ba yung nagtanong? Okay? So this is
Okay na.
okay na? Okay. So false tayo dito. Okay? Ayan. So ngayon, we try to apply yung inductive reasoning sa application. No? So one interesting and familiar application ng inductive reasoning is sa pag-identify ng set of consecutive positive integers. No? So kapag, again, pag sinabing consecutive integers or numbers, ito yung mga numbers na in counting order. No? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And hindi siya katulad ng 1, 3, 4, 2, 9, 5, which is not a counting order. And then we have even tsaka add. So, ngayon pag sinabi nating even, ano ba yung common sa kanila? Pag even ang number.
Divisible by 2.
Okay? So, correct, no? So, pag even number, divisible siya by 2. And the rest of the number na hindi na-identify as even number are odd numbers, no? So, let's try this one. So, if the sum of the first consecutive positive integers from 1 to 5 is given as 5 times 6 over 2, and the sum of 1 through 6 is 6 times 7 over 2, then what is the sum of the first consecutive positive integers from 1 through 7? Okay, so, isulat natin. So, yung sa first argument natin, 1 through 5 daw yung sum niya. So, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 equals daw siya sa 5 times 6 over 2. Okay? Second natin, yung 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 equals daw siya sa 6 times 7 over 2. Ngayon, yung tinatanong natin is yung pangatlo. Yung 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. Pero, based from the first two arguments, ano yung magiging equal na sagot natin sa kanya? Based from do sa pattern.
8 times 8 over 2.
Come again?
8 times 8 over 2.
8 times 8. So,
7 times 8 po.
okay. So, the
7
correct one
times
is
8
7
over
times 8 dapat. Okay?
7.
So, sabihin yung last number, nung kada, ano natin, ito, 5. So, 5 times nung kasunod niya over 2. Sa second one, yung last number times yung kasunod na number niya, divide ng 2. Kaya dito, pwede nating sagot based from do sa pattern na nakuha natin is yung last number niya, which is 7, times yung next number niya is 8, tapos divide natin ng 2. Ngayon, i-check natin kung tama ba yan. Logically, ito yung sagot natin kasi we conform dun sa pattern na nakuha natin. Pero is it realistically true? Let's check. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is equals to 15.
15.
Okay? And ito, 5 times 6 is 30. Divide by 2 is also 15. So, true siya for the first one. Okay? For the next one, we have 15 plus 6. So, we have 21. Let's check. 6 times 7 is 42. Divided by 2. So, we have 21. So, this one is also true. Okay? And then for our last one, we have 21 plus 7. So, that is 28.
28.
And then dito, 7 times 8 is 56. Divide natin by 2. That is also 28.
28.
So, anong conjecture natin dito? So, conjecture natin, the sum of first consecutive positive integer from 1 to any number is equal to, so halimbawa yung sum, the sum first consecutive positive integer from 1 to any number. So tawagin na lang natin n. So okay lang Mr. Miss Manto. No? From 1 to n is equal to, so yung last number natin ay n. So ang equal natin sa kanya is, ano yung based from our observation natin? That will be n times yung n plus 1 or yung next number niya. Then divide natin by 2. Okay. So let's try again by another example. So, halimbawa, 1 to 20. Halimbawa, yung sum niyan. So, by manual, ano yung ano niyan? Ano yung sagot niyan? So, manually natin sa calculus. Hindi ko napakita sa sulat. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 14 plus 15 plus 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So, we have 210 kapag manual addition yung gagawin natin. 210. And then let's check dun sa nakuha in-assume natin na conjecture, no? Na n times n plus 1 over 2. So, ang n natin, last number natin is 20 times 20 plus 1 or yung next number niya over 2. So, we have 20 times 21 is 420 divide 2 is indeed 210, which is equals dun sa tamang sagot natin. So, kahit anong paggawa ngayon yung gawa sa inyo ngayon, kahit 1 to 100, kung ano yung addition nun, ano yung sum ng 1 to 100, gamitin nyo lang yung equation na to, you will be able to get yung sum ng numbers na yun. And we call this first equation as sum formula number 1. Okay? So, based from the patterns that we have observed, we are able to generalize kung ano yung pwede natin i-apply na equation sa mga ganitong cases. Okay? Kahit pag maging 1 to 500 yan, wala, ano no, yung halimbawa, hindi alam ng kaklase ninyo, tinanong nyo siya, dinare nyo, ano ang sum ng 1 to 100, 1 to 500? Siya, ginawa niya sa papel sa scratch, no? Inihad niya, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Ikaw, walang ka pawis-pawis, 500 times 501 divide 2, yun na yung sum natin. Okay? So, yan yung unang sum formula natin. Using inductive reasoning, we were able to generalize yung formula for the sum of the first consecutive integer from 1 to any number. Okay? Next. Halimbawa naman daw, what is the sum of consecutive even integers naman tayo? So, ano naman daw yan? So, we have, halimbawa, 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10. Okay? So, again, ang common sa even integers natin is divisible siya by 2. So, we can factor out 2. So, we have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Okay? And then, let's try another set. Halimbawa is from, ano yung example na ginamit ko kanina? Let me check. Ayan, so kung halimbawa hanggang 12 lang, mahirap magano eh. Ayan, sige, hanggang 16. So yung ano natin sa kanya, divisible by 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8. Okay? So, without adding, sabi sa book, ang pwede nating maging ano sa kanya, maging solution natin sa kanya is ito, di ba, yung kanina, yung sum formula 1 natin kanina to. Okay? Tama ba? Yan yung sum formula number 1 natin kanina. Yung sum of 1 through any number, no? And ang formula niya again is n times n plus 1 over 2. So, kapag even integers naman, ang sum of consecutive even integers from 2 to any even integer, pwede natin substitute daw. So, pwedeng gawin natin 2 times n plus 1 over 2. Ibig sabihin, ito yun, no? Ito yun. Yung n plus 1 na yan. So, pwede natin cancel out yung 2. So, pwede maging solution natin is n times n plus 1. So ano yung n? Ibig sabihin yun yung last number dun sa mga quantity natin. So dito, try natin. So dito, magiging siyang 5 times 6, which is equal daw sa 30. So let's check kung equals ba siya sa 30. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 15. And 15 times 2 is equal to 30. So, okay tayo dun sa first example natin. Next, itong nasa loob, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8. Ilan yan? Let's check. Ilan to? 15, 20, 30, 5, 36. So 36 times 2 is 72. Pag tinry natin yung formula, so we have, yung last number natin is 8. So 8 times 8 plus 1. So we have 8 times 9 or also 72, which is indeed equal with dun sa manual natin. Okay? So anong pwede natin generalization ngayon? So the sum of first consecutive even integers is equal to n times n plus 1. Okay? So this will be our second equation. Ang tatawagin natin sum formula number 2. Okay? Question for this one? Okay, so I hope okay tayo dito. Next, what is the sum of consecutive positive odd integers? Okay, so odd integers naman tayo. So let's have an example. So 1 plus 3 is equals to 4. 1 plus 3 plus 5 is equals to 9. 1 plus 3, sobra pala ito ng plus. Plus 5 plus 7 is equals to 16. So, ano yung nakikita natin pattern dito? Ano yung sum natin?
Odd number.
Sa pair.
Perfect square siya, di ba? No? So, perfect square siya. 4, 9, and 16. So, ibig sabihin, kapag pinag-add natin ang positive odd integer, yung kanyang sum is a perfect square. Okay? So let's say hanggang 11, no? 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11. Yung answer natin will be ilan?
36 po.
36. Which is galing saan? Ito is kung ilan yung element o ilan yung term ng add integer na ginamit natin. So dito, meron tayong dalawang add integer. Dito meron tayong 3. Meron tayong 4. Nandito meron tayong 6. So ilang add integer to? So n is squared. So we have 2 squared equals to 4, which is the same as this one. Gumamit tayo ng 3 term doon sa pangalawa. So 3 squared is equals to 9, which is equals dito. Dito, gumamit tayo ng 4 na term, which is 16, which is equivalent dun sa manual addition natin. And then dito, gumamit tayo ng 6 terms, ni-square natin, equals sa 36, which is equal dito. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ng conclusion natin, the sum of consecutive positive odd integer, okay,
N squared.
of first consecutive positive odd integer is equal to the square of the number of terms. Okay. Square of the number of terms. Yung terms na sinasabi natin is add integer. Positive add integer. Okay? So, yun yung conjecture natin for this one. Kapag ganyan yung gagamitin natin, so meron tayong n squared. So, yung n squared natin is yung ating sum formula number 3. Okay? So, basically, application lang siya para doon sa consecutive numbers natin na from inductive reasoning, we were able to get a formula for those numbers. So, kung ma-experience nyo siya in the future, you will have a particular formula na pwedeng i-apply sa kanya without writing everything dun sa number natin. Okay? Okay tayo dito for inductive reasoning. Okay.
Apo.
Thank you. Yan. So, now we will go dun sa deductive reasoning natin. So, sa deductive reasoning naman daw, in the most common sense, is kabaliktaran lang siya ng inductive. So, from general statement, we are going to a specific statement. And kay deductive reasoning, laging yung logical and lagi siyang logically true and realistically true. Okay? So, apply natin. So, all mangoes are fruit and ito nga, mali ito. So, all fruit has seeds. Okay? So, first statement natin, all mangoes are fruit, and then next is all fruit has seeds. Ang conclusion natin is all mangoes okay? So, all mangoes have seeds. Okay? Which is logically speaking, based from our argument, true siya. And then realistically, lahat ng mangga ay may buto. Okay? So, from very general statement, yung 1 and 2 natin, we are able to get a more specific statement na si mango have seed. Okay? Next. So, let's say all appliances use electricity and rice cooker is an appliance. Anong conclusion natin? Anong pwedeng conclusion natin?
All
Rice
appliances.
cooker use electricity.
Okay, so ang pinaka-logical na conclusion is, tama si Mr. Flansha, rice cooker uses electricity. Okay? So, rice cooker uses electricity. Okay? Na logically speaking, true siya doon sa argument natin. And then realistically speaking, true siya. Kasi si rice cooker is laging nakasaksak sa outlet, no? Para makaluto. Okay? So, realistically and logically, always true si deductive reasoning. Okay? And then, next one. First statement, all first-year students of the College of Engineering are good-looking. John and Jane are first-year students of the College of Engineering. Anong conclusion natin?
John and Jane are good looking.
Okay, so John and Jane are good-looking. Which is from our statement, logically true. And hopefully, si John and Jane realistically are indeed good-looking. Okay? Okay, so yan. So, ibig sabihin, based from our arguments, we are able to have a more specific argument or conclusion. Okay, so I hope malinaw si deductive reasoning. And now, i-apply natin si deductive reasoning sa logic and syllogism. So, pag sinabing logic, science of thinking and reasoning correctly. A reasoning correctly. So, malito, no? So logic has the power to influence the development of ideas. And then syllogism is a application of deductive reasoning wherein an arrangement is composed of two statements or premises. And then ina-identify natin ngayon kung yung mga premises na yon is valid by a conclusion or validated by a conclusion. Okay? So para matest kung valid yung statement or yung premises natin, gumagamit tayo ng diagram which is natawag natin Venn diagram. So the Venn diagram is not new sa knowledge natin, no? Hopefully. Kasi si Venn diagram is ginagamit naman na natin nung ano pa, secondary education pa natin. Okay? So it is a powerful tool used in many practical applications, particularly logic, and the validity of an argument can be shown using Venn diagram. So we have iba't ibang cases ng Venn diagram. We have yung first one, no x or y. So ibig sabihin, hindi nag-intersect yung circle natin. So no x or y. So halimbawa, ang x natin may element siyang 1, 2, 3, no? And then si y meron siyang 4, 5, 6, no? So i-represent natin siya sa Venn diagram. Si x is ito. Ito si x. Andiyan yung 1, 2, 3 natin na element. And then si y. Ito. Okay, si y, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So, sa letter A natin, no x or y. So, ibig sabihin, no elements are inside or the same as the elements in y. Okay? So, non-intersecting circle sila. Letter B. Sum A or B indicates that two intersecting circle. So, halimbawa si x is equals to 1, 2, 3 and si y is equals to 3, 4, 5. Okay? So, kung si yan. So, halimbawa 1, 2, and 3. And then kay ito si x. And then kay y, present din si 3. No? So, ayan. So, it represents some A or B or some X are in Y. So, ibig sabihin, some elements of X are in Y. For this case, yung 3 yun. So, ibig sabihin, intersecting circle sila. Okay? Another one. So, letter C. Some C are not D indicates two intersecting circles. So same example na lang din. 1, 2, 3. And then si y is 3, 4, 5. Indicating daw na some C are not D. So ulit, ito yung 1, 2, 3 natin. Then ito yung 3, 4, 5 natin. So si X and si Y. So paano natin masasabing some C are not D? So ang shaded portion natin is ito. Okay? So some X are not in Y. So ibig sabihin, yung ilang element ng X are not included in Y. So ibig sabihin, sila lang yung may shade. Okay? Kung dito sa kanina, some A or B, so ang may shade natin dito is yung intersection nila. Okay? And then last is, if X, then Y means all X are Y. So if X, then Y means all X are Y. So ibig sabihin, halimbawa si X is equals to 1, 2, 3, pero si Y equals sa 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So ibig sabihin, ito si X. No? So 1, 2, and 3. And then si Y is ito. 4 and 5. Okay? So we are able to present yung dalawang set ng numbers natin into Venn diagram to represent na lahat ng value ni X are inside ni Y. Okay? So, apply natin sa example, no? All A are B. All A are B. So, lahat daw ng A. So, sabihin natin ito si A. Naging si okay, so yan si A. All A are B din daw. So ito yung first argument natin. All A are B. Next argument, X is in A. Si X daw ay nasa loob ni A. Yung conclusion natin, therefore, X is in B. Is the conclusion valid or invalid?
Valid po.
Valid.
Valid.
Valid po.
Valid siya kasi in fact, si X ay inside dun kay B.
B.
Okay? Next. All A are B. So, same figure. So, si A. And then, ito si B. Then, X is in B. Therefore, X is in A. Valid or invalid? Sorry?
Invalid.
Valid. Valid po.
Invalid, no? Kasi,
Invalid po.
si X may be an element of B, pero it is not an element of A. Kaya, invalid siya. Okay? Next. All men are mortal. Okay, so men. Then mortal. Next argument, Daniel is a man. So si Daniel nasa loob ni man. So is the conclusion valid or invalid?
Valid. Valid po.
Valid.
Valid tayo. So by using Venn diagram, we are able to identify kung true yung ating conclusion. Okay? Nakukuha natin yung validity and truthfulness sa conclusion natin. Next, all pigs are animals. So, ito si pig. And ito si animal. No? And then all horses are animal. So, si horses. So, based to dun sa argument natin, ha? Then sa conclusion natin, therefore, all horses are pigs. So,
Invalid.
invalid.
Valid.
Invalid kasi realistically speaking, horses are not pigs, no? Pero kung i-represent natin sa Venn diagram, ano dapat yung itsura niya para maging valid yung conclusion natin? So, dapat
Nasa loob.
Sa
nasa
loob
loob.
po yung pig ng
dapat
horses.
si horses is nasa loob ni pig, nasa loob ni animal. Okay? So, by using Venn diagram again, we are able to identify kung invalid or valid yung given conclusion natin. Okay? So last, all nurses are female. So nurses and female. And my brother is a nurse. So si brother nandun sa loob. So therefore, my brother is a female. Valid or invalid?
Invalid. Valid.
Valid.
So based from our argument, valid siya, no? Pero kung truthfulness nung conclusion or in realistically speaking, hindi siya true, no? Kasi kaya nga brother, male siya, no? So kaya when examining the validity of an argument, we are not determining whether the conclusion is true or false. Or we are more concerned kung valid yung conclusion na nakalagay sa kanya. Okay? Validity and truth do not mean the same thing. Truth refers to conformity with fact. For this case, brother is not a female. So, factually speaking or realistically speaking, it is not true. Pero, based from our argument, our conclusion is valid. Okay? So, in summary, yan, ito yung mga na-discuss natin. So, reasoning daw, involves logical conclusion based from evidence or stated assumptions. And then we have discussed yung two common types of reasoning, which is inductive and deductive reasoning. And yung pinaka-simple takeaway natin, basta inductive reasoning siya, from specific papuntang general siya. And it may be logically true. It is always logically true, but may or may not be realistically true. Okay? Kapag deductive reasoning naman tayo, from general to specific naman. So, kabaliktaran ng inductive na si deductive reasoning is always logically and realistically true. Okay? So, that ends our lecture for today. So, do you have any question or clarification regarding our discussion? Okay, so if there's something that will arise in the future, just PM me, no? So I hope you fully understand yung lecture natin for today. And I'll be posting an activity with regards dun sa topic natin today. Okay? So to test lang if you fully understand our topic. Okay? So this ends our lecture for today. See you again next week.